Someone else can do it.
Sitting down.
But you would have to get up.
If he wanted to, he's never stayed for a whole show.
Right now?
Not at the moment.
What? Hey, I'm like, what?
Okay.
What kill it, though?
I can see the
Good point.
I thought
Wait,
maybe he wanted.
why are
I
you
never
wearing
know if he
heels with a
wants to
broken
stay but
toe?
feels like there isn't enough room, or.
I bet it's not.
It really is.
All right, guys.
All right, focus.
Second Rebecca.
Hey,
Hey!
Boy, there's a lot of Jews in this
you guys are
room.
late.
Oi!
Happy New Year.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, yes. I've got all the
Oh,
friends
that's
I
awful.
need. The gang's all here.
Oh god.
10 seconds.
Ter-
Headsets.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Don't fall.
Fudge.
Please don't. Oh my God.
Is this the good stuff? Yeah. Yeah, it does.
My headphones are loud.
Our place, where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to care.
Woo! We are that friend that cares. We are Our Place Out Loud. I am your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with a gang of wonderful teams. We've got Kimute, Montana, Ryan, with his classic salute.
Classic.
We've got Maddie, Austin, and Aaron. And in the booth, we've got Jakey. And, Jakey, where are you?
He was there.
I was there.
Jakey, well, do it again so we can see your actual face. Worth it. Yes. So we're going to open up the show today. Does anyone have any news? First of all, I can't wear these headphones. They're too loud. Does anyone have any news? Yeah, give us a call at 888-531-7171, especially if you're Olivia, for God's sake. News. Austin, how's your voice this week, honey?
Oh, my voice is pretty much all back. I think
Yeah.
it's completely back.
Excellent.
But that wasn't the news,
Okay.
actually. The news is that this will actually be my and Aaron's last show for a while before we go back to UC Santa Barbara on Saturday.
Okay. All right. And people can go there to stalk you?
No.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So have you signed up for any nice classes this semester?
Let's see. Well, I'm taking Kant, which is supposed to be the most difficult philosophy class out there, but I'm taking a teacher that's supposed to be somewhat really easy.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
Okay,
I think it
so
balances itself out.
Difficult subject, easy teacher. Nice combo. Aaron, what are you up to?
Well, big news for all you gamers out there is that Grand Theft Auto 5 just came out, and I can't recommend it to all of our app users.
No, it's completely inappropriate. I hate that game. It's misogynistic and awful.
Yes, but it's satirical.
Oh, is that what that's how they get away with beating up hookers? Well, we meant it in a funny way.
No, it's a criticism of American culture.
Oh, I see. Well, then you can help explain it to me because I've like loathed this title since its creation.
Wait, it's a criticism of American culture?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought
no,
they
the-
were really just like, we're gonna make a game where you can just make bad
No.
choices.
The first that was the first two games.
That's great.
That was the first two games, and since then they've actually they've cared about like the narrative, and they've cared about the like you played Grand Theft Auto 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the problem with Grand Theft Auto 4 was that they had this satirical biting criticism, but that conflicted with the fact that you had your character do awful things while like half the time he's also like philosophizing.
Like shank
Philosoph-
cops.
yeah, he's like philosophizing.
Ask Austin how to pronounce this. It is his major,
Oh yes, no. It's philosophizing, isn't it?
right?
Yeah, but I'm saying philosophizing.
Okay. Well, so in other words, like you read Proust to your hooker before putting her in your trunk. How does this present itself?
Well, actually, if you go to bed, if you're wanted by the cops and you
Right.
go to bed, they no longer care.
Oh,
I haven't tried that yet.
a good life lesson.
Go into your house, go to sleep. When you wake up, the cops are gone.
All right, I don't think that we can spend a lot more time talking about Grand Theft Auto since I don't really recommend it to well, I mean, if you're a boy over 18 or if you're a girl who likes the gameplay, I guess. I'm not going to say something about something I don't know much about. Ryan?
News.
Yes,
Okay.
news. And so, Aaron, if you've found reason to accept this title and its gameplay as being so appropriate and infused with wisdom, I respect that. Ryan?
Two things. First, after 4 years of hard work and dedication, aside from the aesthetic components, Jake and I, well, it's 4 years for me, like 2 for Jake. have finally finished our GameCube portable.
Why do you not have it in your possession at present?
It's in the other room, but
Well-
also because it's super ugly and we haven't finished it yet.
I know, but it was. I thought you could maybe show it, and it's
Okay.
at this stage
It
of.
kind of looks
well,
like a
where-
bomb
Where is it?
now.
It's on the table out there.
Well, he's made a GameCube portable. He's
Yes.
taken a GameCube and he squashed it. Maybe Julian could go in and grab it.
It's in the black bag that says Lakers on
Uh-oh,
it, and
black
it's very
bag.
clear what it is.
Beware the black bag.
Anyway, so yeah, it's been 4 years of me working on this, and it's super ugly, but it's not about looks. Eventually, it will be. We're gonna work on a new case, but
To me,
until
it's
then,
so ugly.
functional.
It's beautiful.
I agree, but not everyone agrees.
Well, we can just put them in the trunk.
Oh God.
And then the
And,
All
other-
right,
and read
so-
props to them.
All right.
Yeah,
is there
that's
any radioactivity to Jolene handling this?
probably more than is safe.
That and a banana.
So that's the GameCube. Woo! And it's out of battery right now. I didn't charge it this morning, which wasn't my best call. But
So will you be able to? You're gonna be able to download GameCube titles. You don't need the cartridge of the old GameCube.
right,
game.
they run off of an SD
They
card.
run off
which
of an SD
inserts
card.
right here.
That is just genius.
And yeah, I lost the side panels. I still blame Jake for losing them, but
Jake-
You spray painted them and now they're gone. I don't know what you did with them.
so they're kind of just it's open on the sides. And
So what did Jake bring to the table that you were not able to accomplish on your own?
hands,
Not.
he would just he helped hold things.
So you would hold things while you soldered.
and he helped brainstorm.
All right, great. So very exciting, and you're going to have this on the market, or is it going to be a Kickstarter campaign, or?
No, because if I tried to sell that, Nintendo would sue me.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they would.
we
They
don't
definitely
have
would.
that.
But if I don't sell it, then it's fine. Also, my other news,
Yes.
which is just want to throw it out there. UCLA is ranked the highest they've been ranked in college football since 2006. We're
I
ranked
credit you,
13th
Ryan,
in the nation.
for writing about them, and the way that you wrote about them, you gave them, kind of like a wake up call that they need to address certain issues.
All right,
And so I think you helped.
thank you.
Yes.
They
just-
also had some team tragedies, but stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's-
Well, we won't get
it's
too
terrible.
far off onto a tangent. So
Yeah.
I thought the first thing that we would do was that I gave you a little piece of homework, which was to, and I'm sorry if this has scarred anyone for any long period of time, but I gave you the assignment to watch the Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball video, and that we could weigh in on it culturally as a teen panel. Thoughts? Okay, so first of all, who would like to describe the video and what happens within the video? Go ahead, Montana. I think we need to have a girl describe this, Ryan. I'm very
Fair
sorry.
enough.
Okay, so there's Miley Cyrus, and then there's a close up of her face, and she's like, "I'm so sad," and then she is in a room and is sad some more, and then nakedly rides a wrecking ball and starts licking things, which totally isn't sanitary.
Like sledgehammers.
Like sledgehammers. Those
Right.
don't taste good.
So first she's in her underwear,
and
and
like
then
they're not even
she's
nice
just a little
underwear.
too hot, so she takes that off and she straddles the wrecking ball completely naked and
Not good.
licks metallic objects. She's going to need a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
She's not wearing a hard hat. She's not.
And then the whole time she's like, "Feel bad for me. I'm so sad. I was so strong, but you laugh me."
But I did find the symbolism within the video, and that's that the wrecking ball is Miley,
yeah, she's
and
like,
the building is her career.
I actually think that's true, though. I mean, to an extent, I think she really, in the past couple,
Yes.
times, has been trying to break away from. Oh, she's that Disney star, and it didn't work because now we all are just saying, "Oh, remember when she used to be a Disney star?"
yeah,
So
but
it's not
now
really working. But I think that really was. Yeah, she's. She
Well,
really,
maybe, but I just think that if you want to show people that you've grown up, what is it in our culture that it's telling young ladies that the way to show people that you've grown up is to become trashy rather than to become a lady?
Well, I don't think that's a thing though, because I definitely think that when things in pop culture happen like this, it tends to be that our culture and our society is telling them that that's the way to go about doing it.
Why?
But the thing in this case is that I don't think there's anyone who agrees with it. Even the stupidest of people, I don't think this is the way to do it. So I don't think this is actually what our society's told anyone.
Someone
to do.
on her team advised her. Aaron.
I don't think so. I think that she's entirely self-centered. I mean, I'm sure she's not doing this all alone, but I'm sure that more people are saying yes to whatever she says than people are saying, hey, let's think about this.
Montana.
I don't know what's going through her head. She probably knows this is
Almost
kind
a
of
sledgehammer.
Yeah. She probably knows this is kind of trashy. I mean, she's not. Well, I mean, I'm
Kinda.
not. I'm not one to say she's stupid. She's not stupid, but it makes sense that it is really quite trashy. But the thing is, if like they don't hate you and they don't love you, it doesn't matter if
they're
you're in
talking.
between. It doesn't matter if you're classy, if you don't like have sex appeal, because sex sells, and that's sort of a marketing strategy.
So
and then
just be controversial.
be controversial, and people will be like, "Hey, did you see that video?" And I mean, like we've done that. Like, "Oh my God, did you see her spanking the German midgets or something?"
Yeah,
oh,
no,
also that was.
I haven't seen that
And I
yet,
missed
and I
that.
don't want to see that yet.
And I apologize for anyone I've offended. Aaron.
Yeah, I think that this is all just her, like, proving to herself that she's not, like, look, I'm not this Disney person. And everyone's like, okay, well, to us, you're always a Disney person. And she's like, no, that's not, no, stop, what, no. And
Okay.
so she's just doing whatever she wants to do.
All right, well, we're going to come back to this because we do have a thread theater regarding it. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was it and this is something that's come up in the show before, and I just kind of accepted it. Like you guys told me, and I went, oh, okay. But now I'm sort of seeing the way it's manifesting itself and sort of changing the way people relate to each other. By people, I mean guys of your generation. And that's that you guys have phones, but the only person that you ever actually speak to on the phone is, like, your parents. The idea of picking up the phone and calling a friend is kind of something that really isn't done by your generation. And I'm just wondering, the first question that we're going to address has to do with that. And I'm wondering if A, is that true? When you're getting to know someone, the concept of actually calling them just would never occur to that person or to you. It's going to be a text. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, I think that doesn't apply to everyone, but even with, I mean, it certainly doesn't apply to people you don't really know that well. I'll sometimes call my close friends, and usually it's for coordinating things if it's too hard to coordinate over text. But, like, sometimes I'll just call Jake to tell him something, and he'll pick up the phone and be like, hi, Ryan. And I'm
That's
like,
what he says when I call him.
well, because,
And he
but
calls me Ryan, which is weird.
but he's just, like, clearly thoroughly confused as to why I'm having a voice-to-voice conversation with him.
Right,
so,
right. And he's letting you know.
Yeah.
And I would love for anyone to call in who has anything to say regarding this. Aaron?
I think it's all about, like, time investment. I think it's like, well, they're busy, I'm busy. I want to talk to them, but I don't want to, like, devote all this time to talking to them. I said I want to just be able to talk to them. They can talk to me on their time and on my time, and I don't have to stop what I'm doing and, like, leave the room or whatever. I can just
You
say things.
are talking about the efficiency aspect of communication, meaning I'm going to be here, will you be there, let's go here, let's go there.
No.
I'm talking about kids going, I'm bored, let's chat, and rather than pick up the phone and talk to a friend, which I did when I was your age, they just will sit there and text for hours. Montana.
Well, like, a lot of people, especially now with the advent of the internet, are super, like, non-confrontational, don't want to have people outside that, like, because if you say something on the phone and it's awkward, it goes dead silent.
Right.
But in text, you just don't get a text back for a while, and you can be like, oh, they're probably busy, or you can just reply, haha, and then
Yeah.
things are kind of okay. So.
And that's an excellent point. But the question I want to ask before I throw to Maddie is this. Does it satisfy a reward center of the brain to receive a text each time?
I think so. It's
Yeah.
like,
like
oh, a
candy.
treat.
Yes, it's like winning. Go ahead, Maddie.
The main reason why I choose to text instead of calls, because usually when I'm texting someone, because I just want to, like, talk to them, it's because I'm, like, doing something else at the same time. So, like, I'll be doing homework, and if I send somebody a text and it'll, they'll take a couple minutes to respond to me, I can do some work in between and just, like, send a quick, like, I'm good, how are you? And then keep working, and because if you're on the phone, it's the only thing you can really do. I mean, unless you're, like, talking to someone about, like, a recipe, which my mom does all the time.
So it's sort of a
Right.
way to have
On the
like
phone.
an ongoing conversation right underneath your parents' nose. Like, look,
Oh,
Jolene,
no,
Jolene's
no.
texting right now.
Not like that. It was more just, like, while I'm doing something
Instagram, yeah.
else.
Yeah,
type
no, because, like,
thing.
people are always doing things. If you're not doing something that almost
Why
doesn't
are they
make
on our
sense.
place going, I'm so bored? They're not always doing
Well,
things.
no, what they're doing is being on our place saying they're so bored. That they're doing something, but they're also texting other people saying I'm so bored to them. I mean, it's like you're never not doing something, and there are some situations in which you just will not be able to make a phone call. Like I could not be here or like waiting for the show to start and like be on the phone. That's like how rude would that be? But like a little something every now and then to someone else, like someone texts me, I text them just real quick something. That's not like a slight, at most, a slight interruption. Kimure?
Yeah, I think that texting, I agree with you guys that it's definitely about, you can multitask when you text. You can do other things in text, and when it's a phone call, it kind of interrupts what you're doing. And I think it's also just a lot easier to send a text than to call somebody, as far as if it's somebody that you like or something, you want to talk to them, you're not going to get as nervous, you're not going to feel as on the spot as...
Well, yeah, but there's this whole thing like where you're typing with your thumbs, which to me seems unwieldy, or you decide to use the voice recognition. Well, like, so you're talking into your phone. Peter, that was hilarious what you said. I was laughing so hard I couldn't even believe that you said that. That was just so funny. Send. When you could have called him and said, Peter, I could not believe what you said. It was just so funny. I mean, you've basically repeated yourself.
But see, with a text, you can read that and then edit it. You can say, oh, that's what I want to send. That's definitely what I want to say.
And then also, beyond that, if you send that voice text, that's all you're saying. If you call him up, you're also saying, hi, how's it going? How you doing? What you said was really funny, and this and that and this and that. So it's like, it's more of an ordeal. Oh, Manny.
I mean, also, like, another important reason why people text is, like, so say I need, Ryan's address. And, well, excuse
She already
you.
knows where you live, Ryan.
So, and I call you, but then I don't remember it, I don't write it down. So, but if I text him and ask him for his address and he theoretically sends it to me, then I'll have it there for when I'm, getting directions.
I agree for that. For the exchange of information, it's a bonus and it's fantastic. I'm just talking about communicating like that, human-to-human contact, right?
I think it's totally 100% about it has to do with the multitasking, but not all about that. The idea that you can take time in between your responses. Mm-hmm. If I called you easy and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" You were like, "I'm good," and then there was 5 minutes of silence before I said the next thing. That'd be.
But I would be saying stuff.
No, but if you
you wouldn't just be talking for 5 minutes.
Well, she could, and so could I. So that's a bad example.
In general,
if two quiet people.
If it's two kids, and like I actually like, I know that when kids start calling each other, there's this whole like, and, like, because I get teenagers talking to each other where they both like each other, it's, like, extremely awkward. So we've completely bypassed that whole, well, you have to do it because it's part of learning how to communicate.
But, like, this is, I think, the new way of you have to do it. You have to send them that text because still sending a text is still kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
it's just not, it doesn't come across that way.
Yeah.
And the one other part about that is just, like, that, or what I was, like, finishing with that one other part was, like, if there was 5 minutes of silence, that'd be really weird. But if you send someone a text and they respond within 5 minutes, that's a pretty good response time as long as you're not in the middle of a conversation. Mm-hmm. So it just makes sense in that aspect. And it's like when my mom calls me and I'm like in the car or something, even if I'm not driving, because I won't answer when I'm driving, but like if I'm talking to my dad about sports, calling someone's an interruption. That means I pick up the phone and I say, "Hi, Mom," and she gets to have a conversation with me and kind of override what I was talking about with my dad.
Yeah.
When she texts, I can leave it for 10 minutes, finish my conversation, say, "Oh, sorry, I was talking to Dad. What's going on?"
All right, let's see who's on the phone. Who's there, Justin?
Yo.
Hello, Mrs. Colfer.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. Would you like to weigh in on the topic?
Yes. I try to refrain from texting as much as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, texting is kind of like you don't really want to feel like talking to the person on the phone or in person. So I try to always call or at least see the person.
So you still do call people?
Yes,
mm-hmm.
when my phone works.
When your phone works, yeah. Maddie?
I mean, I think that someone else kind of touched on this a little bit, but like when you send a text, you can kind of avoid from kind of like saying the wrong thing. Like say, you're on the phone with somebody and you say something and you're like, oh, that was so not the right way to phrase that. When you're texting, you can look at what you're going to say
mm-hmm.
before you say it so that, and I mean, I guess in some, I don't know if that's bad at all. But anyway, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's helpful that I can kind of look and say, like, I don't think this is going to hurt this person's feeling. Because I need to talk to them about it. And I feel like, I really want them to be able to
I think that if you boil it right down, it's like more reward with less risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Q?
I mean, I'm going to say personally, I don't really text. I hate texting because my phone is kind of old and it's not fun to text on. And also, I can't multitask even when I'm texting. Like, I have to focus. Like, if I'm doing something, I have to focus. But I think that it's the easy way to go, and that's why people do it. I don't necessarily think that it's what people should be doing all the time, or not as much as kids do, because it doesn't, like, kids don't learn how to actually talk to people. But I think that that's why kids do it, because it's easier to do.
I agree with that, and I definitely think that talking to people is an important skill to learn. I love talking. But the one other... why is someone calling me from an unknown number? Sorry.
They want to know where they can purchase that.
Like, it's not for sale.
Portable.
That's 4 years of hard work and dedication. No, I was going to say something to Maddie. What Maddie was saying, so distracting. Sorry about that. What Maddie was saying about it being, I'm sorry. What was your point? Oh yeah. Okay. She said we can basically use it to basically say that's not what I wanted to say. That is what I wanted to say. But yet at the same time, it seems like some of our worst decisions come over text when we have the opportunity to revise them.
Yeah, it is true.
Like, here's your opportunity.
All right, we're going to thank you so much for calling, Mrs. Culfer. We're going to free up the phone line for someone else to give us a call at 888-531-7171 here with Our Place Out Loud. I almost said Journals Out Loud. Like, how long has it been since we've been Journals? Did you want me to do that question, Maddie?
I thought you wanted to do the Thread Theater.
Oh, you want to do Thread Theater now? Let's do a couple questions, and because this one has to do with the texting situation, the top question. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, Maddie, would you read that, please, from Anonymous?
Yes. Should I tell my friend that you like
No,
him?
I think they
that
meant I.
yeah.
I get you a lot for I because easy typo to make when you're texting.
We were like super close a few years ago, like brother and sister almost, and I've had a crush on him for quite a while. I'll probably never see him again because he moved last year, and he lives kind of far, but I asked him yesterday if I should tell the guy that I like him. He told me to go for it, but I don't want to ruin our friendship. I'm really conflicted, and I know both...
Nothing.
Oh, what?
I think they wrote...
Oh, you're good at speaking typo.
I read it in advance and figured it out.
I know nothing is going to happen. Good job, Keo.
Oh, okay. I know nothing is going to happen, like we're not going to get together or anything, but I feel like I got to get it off my chest. Oh, and our only form of communication is texting, so I don't want to scare him off. What should I do?
Okay, so even though the kid moved away and stuff, it like wouldn't occur to her to call him and tell him that she likes him. She's still thinking in terms of like a texting scenario. Like,
well,
even when there's something really important to say. Go ahead, Aaron.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is not should I text him, it's should I get in contact with him.
Oh no, she's been texting him. That's what she's saying.
Right, but I think it's more like, okay, well, he lives far away. Is it even worth like going this route, this romantic route?
And then she chooses that if she's going to, it will be through text. But it's a totally different generational thing. Like,
no, I know that. And it's like she already like there's several things going on here. First of all, she asked the kid, "Do you think I should tell the person I like that I like him?" Which, we can go into, like, is it a good idea to say to the guy you like, "Do you think I should tell the person I like that I like him?" And she's saying all this via text, so he's not seeing her face. He's not reading into any kind of like body language or subtext or even hearing her voice. Go ahead, Montana.
I'm confused as to what she wants out of this because, like, great, you tell him you like him, and even if it goes well, it could go horribly. It could be like, I never want to speak to you again.
Probably not.
Probably not, if he's not horrible. But if it goes well and he's like, oh, I like you too, or whatever, like, then what? You're still...
Well, they live far away, but at least they would know that it's mutual.
Mm-hmm.
At least you would know that it was mutual, and I feel sometimes...
And then you can't do anything about it.
I know,
like,
but
would you rather know that
sad.
it's mutual and then get hung up on it and there's nothing you can do about it for a really long time? Or would you rather just, you know what, this is maybe, if it's something I want to do, something I want to do later and move on for now?
Yes, but don't sometimes people need the closure of the guy saying, "I don't see you that way. You're just always going to be a friend to me." That would free her up to be romantically interested in someone else. Like, doesn't she maybe need this answer?
I don't see it working
instead
that
of
way.
a big maybe.
But then
I know
wouldn't
it won't
lock
work
her
out.
down if he said that he did like her mutual?
So you're just saying don't ask, don't ask via text, don't ask via voice, don't fly over there and tell him, just don't ask and don't ever have an answer and stay hung up in the maybe.
I
and
guess you
not
could get
take
an
guys
answer, but I don't know
seriously
what would
who live
happen.
around you. What?
I guess it'd be fine to get an answer, but then, like, is that even better? Is that worth it?
Right. I mean, like, if he
Yeah.
lived close, then my answer would be yes, go for it, yes, for sure. But like, because there's nothing that's going on, I don't see the value.
Austin?
Well, I think when she said our only form of communication is via text, I mean, I take that to mean that they've never actually met in person at
No,
all.
they,
right?
they did, Austin. It's just that he moved 4 hours away.
Okay.
They were like brother and sister. So nothing romantic ever happened, but it could have been that they were too young or whatever. So it's kind of now they talk via text. But even though they live 4 hours away, if this scenario were happening 15 years ago and she were going to try and find out if he had feelings, it would be via email or maybe calling, like Maddie.
Just a bit of a side note.
Yeah.
Every single one of my friends that has like asked a guy if he liked her has said, "So I like this guy. Should I tell him?"
To the guy.
Yeah, to the guy.
What do you think is going to happen? Like, what is the guy? Keo, you're a guy. If a girl says that to you, are you thinking, does she mean me, or are you? Because guys take stuff at face value. I would think the guy would be just like, oh, I guess she's not into me. So how do I answer this? Like,
well, how I'm gonna go about it would depend on whether I like her or not.
yeah,
For one, and then I wouldn't want to take it as, oh, she doesn't like me, but that's probably what I would ultimately go to.
that's
because
the last person you should ask that question.
yeah,
I
because
think.
I'm gonna be like, oh, well, it's gonna hurt less if she actually ends up liking somebody else, and then I thought, oh, she meant me,
Yeah.
and I liked her, and then she was like, oh no, I didn't mean you, I meant somebody else. That's gonna
It's so interesting to me, Maddie, that a girl would think that would be a halfway question
Well,
when it's
I
really
mean-
just throwing him off.
Well, I mean, I think that it could have been, though. I mean, my friends could have had special situations where, like, they'd been liking each other for a long time, and this was just kind of like a "you need to ask me out now" type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I think this is what I think that is. I think that's girls expecting boys to think girl, and
That's
they
true.
don't think girl because they're boys. Like, you can't beat around a bush that way and have a boy go, oh, I get it, she might like me. The boy is going to take exactly what you said and hear exactly what you said. They're not going to think, I wonder if this means she likes me. Like, you can't say to a boy, who do you like? Or, should I tell the guy I like that I like him? Like, you have to just say,
I mean, I might consider that, but I'm not gonna decide that. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with the other way.
yeah, it's so confusing. Like, the boy's like, let's say the boy likes you. He gets hit with that question, and it's like, this is a trap. I need to step very carefully. I don't speak girl. I'm confused. I'm going to throw up a flare. I don't know what to do. Ryan.
I have two parts about this. One is just kind of like another way that like I would go about it, similar to Keo. It's just kind of like I hear the question, and you know those kind of things where like if someone was like pick a number, 1 or 2, and you know their favorite number is 1, and then you think like okay, then it's obviously 1. But what if they're tricking me, so it's 2? But then what if they thought that through, so it's 1, and it just keeps flipping? So it's like, what if they're asking me because they like me? But what if they're asking me because they don't like me and they trust me as a friend? But what if they already thought that through? You know, it's just
Oh,
and
yeah,
it keeps
no,
flipping.
it's
So
a-
that just tears me inside, like, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even know what to think.
It's-
And then, but it probably depends on if I like you. If I like you, I'll probably convince myself you like me. And if I don't,
But
then
that's because you're kind of like a natural optimist. But there might be someone else that
Yeah.
isn't always thinking like of the bright side all the time.
well, yeah. And then the one other part about that for Maddie is, what's their success rate? They ask the question, and then and
Good
then
question.
what?
Oh no, actually, like it actually works out really well for them.
Okay.
'Cause the guy would like, I think what happened with my friend's last boyfriend is that she said, "Should I tell the guy that I like him?" And he said, "Yeah, go for it." It was exactly like this. And he said, "Yeah, go for it." And she said, "I like you." And he goes, "I like you too. Will you be my girlfriend?"
But
like-
she
Okay,
did it
well,
in the
that's-
moment.
that's
this
not
person's
confusing.
Like waiting.
Oh,
I mean, that's getting rid of the confusion right
That's-
there.
Exactly. That's
Long-
eliminating.
it's a long story.
It's a long story.
Keo.
All right, let's let Austin weigh in here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
So I thought about it, and if I were asked that question, then without hesitation, I would probably just say, yeah, go for it. And if she likes someone else, then fine. And if she's about to tell me she likes me, then it instantly becomes a straightforward thing that I can respond to. So there's no problem there. And I think for the person who wrote this, I think I've decided that if their only form of communication is text, then regardless of getting closure and whatnot, I think it's best that if they can't be in close proximity to each other, that starting a long-distance relationship where they can just be texting probably isn't a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's going to tell him, she should probably do it when they're closer, when they could actually get together.
Don't speak. All right,
I
we're
think
going to
guys
move.
just
I
need
know
to
a lot of
speak
hands are up,
girl.
but we're going to move on to the next question. Ryan, would you please read Fuzzer's Awesomes?
Yes, fuzzers are awesome. All right, Wheezy. I haven't been able to see my dad's side of the family in almost a year. My dad has 3 brothers, and he only talks to one. And I miss my family a lot because my cousins and I are all around the same age, and I can't talk or see them. It's Kaya's birthday today, and I want to see them again. And I don't know how to ask my mom. They live 45 minutes from me, and my mom hates them. Whenever they get together, they fight or argue and stand in different sides of the room, and I hate it. I feel like they're taking it out on us. Just because they hate each other doesn't mean they can keep us away from each other, right? Can you help me figure out how to tell her this?
Okay, so adults arguing so that cousins don't have a chance to know each other. First of all, does anyone relate to this at all? Does anyone have this in their own family?
A little bit.
A little bit? Go ahead.
My dad has 2 brothers, and it's not really my mom and my dad's family, but my dad has, well, a little bit. My dad has 2 brothers, an older and a younger one, and his older brother is a little rough with him and has been since they were little, and has, done very mean things to him since they were little, but too far. And so my dad doesn't, as much as he loves him as a brother, doesn't like to be around him, and it creates conflict because especially within my dad, but it comes out on us, which is my dad loves him, wants to see him, but he doesn't want to see him. He doesn't want to be around him because of the things he does and says. And so that kind of shows. And then also my dad's mom and my mom, apparently didn't like each other for a while, which I didn't know. But, on the tail end of it, when they, are, fake smiling at this point, it's just the kind of thing where you tell the person, you say, look, I love you, and I really want to enjoy both your company. Can you please not do this around me? And they either say yes, and it's awesome, or they're not capable of controlling themselves, and they say no, or they don't say anything.
Let's go to the phone and see what the caller thinks. Hello, Our Place Out Loud. Who's there?
Hi, this is Bree.
Hey, have you been listening to the question, honey?
What?
Have you been listening to the question that we're discussing?
Yes.
Okay, did you have a thought?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I haven't seen basically anybody on my mom's side of the family in years.
Wow.
Just because there's so much drama there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I asked you once if I should try and contact them, on my own, and you advised against it because you said there was probably a reason they weren't talking and I should probably stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, if there's a reason that Fuzzer's Awesome's family is fighting, I think even though it's not her fault, I think it's not her fault, and I think she doesn't want to get involved in that, and I think there could be a good reason that they're fighting, and her parents are probably trying to protect her from all that drama.
Yeah, there's probably a reason they're fighting, but I do think that the older that you get, the more opportunity that you have to reach out to your cousins, because they have nothing to do with this, and they didn't ask for this. So, in terms of your parents and her siblings, or your dad and his siblings, you can't just force them to get along, but you can, in a calm moment, say, I'm not sure why this has to affect me and my cousins, because we still love each other, and once we're all adults, we're going to be super close, because that will be our choice. So would there be a way for me to see my cousins now? Because when you're 15, you still think it's forever until you're 18. That seems like forever away, to have to go 3 more years without seeing your cousins. And so for you, Breeze, I would say, you're getting a little bit older now. If you want to find one of your cousins on Facebook, and you just say to your mom, I'm going to be friending Samantha. I'm just letting you know. I know that you have your reasons for not getting along with her mom or her dad or whatever, but she's my cousin. So
yeah,
I just think the older you get, the more you can just calmly state your position that these people will be in my life, and I have a right to make those choices as I get closer and closer to becoming an adult. So that would be kind of what I would advise Fuzzers. And you may miss this birthday, but you will have your entire adult lives to be cousins, and you'll have to get together and have talks about what all went on, and just agree that we're not going to take sides. We just love each other, and let's let our parents disagree if that's what they need to do. Maddie?
Advice for Fuzzers. I think that one of the best things to express if you are going to talk to your mom about it is to kind of tell her that you aren't asking for her to be around the people that she doesn't like.
Yeah, just could I be dropped there? Yeah.
Just asking for permission to see the people that you like and who are essentially your family.
Yeah. Kyo?
Yeah, I would definitely talk to, I think it's her or his mom and
Dad's
dad.
side.
Or it says,
Talks to one.
Whoever-
It's complicated.
whatever it is, talk to your parent or parents, and I would say, well, for one, do you have something wrong with your brother's kids, your nieces and nephews? And talk to them about that and say, I really enjoy them and I want to be closer to them. And talk to your parents about that and say, I don't think it's really fair that just because you don't get along with your brother or sister that I can't spend time with my cousin. So and yeah, reach out to them through social networks and talk to them and be like, yeah, I really wish that we could hang out more and I want to be closer and everything like that.
Montana?
Try to make the point to your parents that, like, whatever feud they have between the uncles and the aunts, like, it's not necessarily that the cousins are involved in it. They're just kids that were kind of brought into it. So be like, you should be, or ask them to be the bigger person and let them not involve another generation in this whole feud. Like, they obviously know how painful and just bickering and terrible it is, and don't let them involve you in like another whole ongoing thing.
Just request that this not have to affect the cousins.
And you don't, and just be like, maybe you can and Dad can go do something fun while I hang with them.
Ryan?
Well, this, and not to go on too much of a tangent, but this reminds me a little bit of a Jimmy Neutron episode, but it has a moral to what I'm going to say. So there's an episode where it's not family, but it's best friends, and Carl and Jimmy's parents get in a fight, a big fight, and Carl and Jimmy are still best friends.
Right.
So and the parents are like, oh, you can't go and hang out with him, you can't talk to him. And like, what do we do? So Jimmy dresses up as a cactus pizza delivery man and goes to the park to talk to Carl. But then at the end of the show, their parents are like, what are we doing? We're ruining our kids' friendships all because of our differences.
Wow.
They're trying to be like, I really love them and they're my family, and I understand that you guys have your differences, but I'd love it if I could still see them while not having to be involved with that. Keo, what you thinking?
Yeah, just one more little thing. I would, if you're going to talk to your parents, keep it more about how much you want to talk, you want to spend time with your cousins, and not about how your parent doesn't get along with your uncle.
Yeah, and you can even say things like, I respect your reasons. I don't have to know the details because I'm just a kid, but I respect your decision in terms of you not wanting to be around them. But right. I don't think that's the kid's fault. And anything more, Breeze, before we let you go?
No, I'm just watching Taylor on America's Got Talent.
Oh, is Taylor on right now?
Yep.
Okay, so at 11 o'clock, everybody vote for Taylor Williamson on America's Got Talent.
Does he sing?
No, he's a comedian. But he probably has a lovely singing voice if you ask him nicely. Thank you so much for calling in, Breeze. Go Taylor. And we're going to do Thread Theater right now because it's the bottom of the hour. So we are Our Place Out Loud. I'm Louise Planker here with Kiamute, Montana, Ryan, Maddie, Aaron, Austin, and Jake. And we didn't assign parts or anything, but it has to do with Miley's video. So let's have Ryan, why don't you be Watermelon Girl? And Aaron,
definitely.
you can be Fuzzers. And then we'll just... let's see. Austin, you can be Nutella Lover. Maddie, you can be Guilty Innocence. And Keo, you can pick up the slack with every other remaining part. Did I give everyone a part? Ryan? Did I give you a part?
I'm that Watermelon Girl.
Okay, so it starts with you, Aaron.
Yep.
Fuzzers awesome.
What did you think of Miley's video for Wrecking Ball?
It's basically porn.
I don't like it. It makes me sick.
Yeah, personally, I think it's not a bad song, but the video is too far.
I like the song, but the video was too much for me. People are going to stop taking her seriously if she keeps doing crap like this.
She lost 90% of public respect after the VMAs. I don't think she's too worried about pleasing the public anymore. It's just about her changing her persona.
I did not like her performance at the VMAs. She's turning into another Lady Gaga or Madonna.
Who's taking up the slack?
I hate the video, but...
Oh, Gaga. I'm sorry. It's Gaga speaking here.
I hate the video, but the song had a meaning, like...
I like the song, don't like the video.
Simons.
I got why she was naked. It's showing her vulnerability.
Vulnerability, I think, was what she meant to type.
It's showing her vulnerability. But the licking of the sledgehammer and swinging on the wrecking ball, a little too much for me to handle.
Roses and thorns.
It was pretty much porn.
Sal. Go ahead, Keo.
It was gross.
The
Guilt,
start,
guilty innocence.
the start was okay, but when she started taking her clothes off and lifting cameras, I lost respect for the video. I love the song, but the video reminded me of that Simpsons episode where Homer gets on a wrecking ball and swings back and forth in the building.
Nutella lover.
Miley Cyrus is giving the wrong impression on how girls should act. When boys are being exposed to things like that, boys believe that girls should be acting like that. Now in this society, girls are just sex objects instead of being a human. Girls should be respected, humble, and caring. Now girls are nothing like that. Girls just have no respect for themselves. Disgusting.
Okay, thoughts? Because I know, like, if I were still dating and I went out with a guy and he was like, "Where's your wrecking ball?" I'd be like, "Oh, Miley ruined it for all women." Hands are up. Maddie.
I am offended. I am not. I have respect for myself.
Am I, like, in trouble with your parents for making you watch that video?
No. I was talking about when Nutella Lover was like, girls just have no respect for themselves. Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, Miley doesn't have the power to take respect away from women in general.
Yeah, no.
She sorry, but,
The other women
it's
are
a spiky
laughing at
hairdo,
her
but she doesn't have that kind of power.
disrespect for herself.
Ryan?
I have two things about this. Well, three, actually. One, despise the video. It's basically porn. I mean, like, what is she doing?
All right, so my question to you as a man is, do guys find that sexy? The
No.
licking of a sledgehammer, is that
No.
a
Some
sexual-
guys, I'm
Okay,
sure, do.
There's
Gross.
creepy guys out there who enjoy that. Most people everyone I've ever talked to so far has said it was gross and
Well, you
disgusting.
know what I have to say about that. Next time, any guy who kisses Miley kisses every sledgehammer she's licked.
You know,
So, and the
you know the feeling of like when somebody scratches a chalkboard and it
Yeah.
gives you that. That's how I feel when I see her licking this. Like when I imagine licking that, it's like
yeah.
You just taste the metal.
Well, and then I had two other parts to that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
That's all right. No
Go
worries. The other one was in response to Nutella Lover's like thing about women are just sex objects now, blah blah blah, which is kind of what Maddie said. I don't think that Miley should be able to say women have no respect for themselves and like take that away. But there are a lot of women who just don't seem to have respect for themselves, and I can't really say for them because I'm not them. And then, but at the same time, that idea of saying now women are just sex objects, it's been a long time of like women
Being objectified?
Being objectified.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, forever.
centuries.
It's literally been forever. So to say
Yeah.
that it's now, it's if anything, it's a little better than it ever was before.
That is absolutely true. I get really kind of like upset when people say these are the worst times and it's just horrible and everything's going downhill. Watch Mad Men. At least people aren't smoking indoors.
like women.
We're making some progress.
There was a time when women couldn't vote. Women didn't really have jobs. They didn't leave the house. They just did,
And that
work
was
in the house.
only like
That-
40 years ago.
That was like,
Try being a prairie lady and
Exactly.
getting some respect.
and then the last part is if you want to have nightmares.
If you want to. Yes, please.
If-
Sign me up.
If you want to have nightmares, look up the Nicolas Cage version of this. Someone
my
very,
God.
very well put Nicolas Cage's face over Miley's face. Nicolas Cage with breasts just isn't right. So there you go. If you want nightmares,
I need to see this. Oh, my God.
Montana.
Okay. I think her performance was just sad. Like,
Yeah.
everybody was like, wow, she looks like so slutty. Oh my God, she's not wearing clothes. And I'm just like, that girl needs a hug and a parka.
Yeah. Nicely
And-
said. Yeah.
Well, okay, a hazmat hug.
A hazmat hug. Yeah. Maddie.
I kind of forgot what I was going to say.
I know. It's like. All right. Let's jump into some questions because I know we've got just a little bit more time and we want to get through everybody. We're at 888-531-7171 from Beauty Lover. How do I ask a friend that owes me money? My friend owes me a lot of money, $20, and she always says she's going to pay me back, but she never does. She does that to everyone. How do I? That's a pretty good job, just asking everyone you know for $20, like for the rest of your life.
I've done it.
Me too.
How do I ask for my money back without being rude? Aaron.
Well, first off, this is just a rule of thumb. Never, ever give money to a friend that you would just hate to never get back because, like, this kind of thing, giving money to friends.
You're never getting it back.
No, I mean, like, sometimes you like, Austin and I, we're very good about always making sure that, if one of us gives each other money, like, that's fine. But in general, as a good rule of thumb, if you have a friend who asks for money, be wary because if you give it to that person, you may just never get it back, and you have to be okay with that if you're going to do that.
Yeah, and you could you'll lose the money and you lose the friendship because every time they look at you, you're a reminder of like that they owe you money. So
Or that or you actually are reminding them.
right, that's
Right. When like either way, it's
either way, yeah. But what I do is like, well, if someone asks for $20 or something, I'll say, you're not borrowing money. I'm giving you money because I don't want you to give me back $20.
Right, exactly. And you
And
can
so-
if you make that clear, that's good.
When it's way like if you're an adult, it's like way more than that. It's like $100, $200, $500. So it's like basically the answer is no because I value this friendship, especially when relatives ask me for it because that's like you have to see that person at events and stuff like that, and
Right.
so it's just an unhealthy pattern. Everyone has opinions. Let's start with Keo and toss to the next person, please.
She says, "How do I ask for money back without being rude?" I think you deserve to be rude because it's kind of rude to not just dodge you and not give you money back.
I don't know if I've ever heard Keo say "fight fire with fire."
I mean, I'm not saying fight fire with fire, but
Don't
Be
steal her
rude
money.
'cause
be
she's
rude. Or like just say, "Give me my money back." What are
Well,
you doing? This isn't okay. This isn't
Right.
okay with me.
But
Give
she
me.
obviously doesn't have the money, spent it, doesn't have it. Am I
So
right?
and then ask her, "When are you going to give me my money back? I need a time. I need you to tell me a time, and I'll come talk to you then."
Okay, you guys don't ever borrow money from Keo.
If
He will
When-
break your knees.
when
No.
when I lend money, I'm very specific about
The
what I
point
do.
in time.
Or no, what the situation is like usually when I lend money, I don't expect it back, and usually with my with my close friends, I'm like, yeah, here, and we just pay for things for each other
Yeah.
when we have the money.
I'll get it next time. It's kind of the
Yeah.
grown-up way to do it. Montana.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I was actually just gonna say what Keo said. Just ask for the money back. It's not rude, and even if it is, well, take my money. So, I mean, there could be a lot ruder ways of going about this, like mafia style.
Right.
I mean, over $20, not don't cap someone for $20.
Right.
But
You cap them, you're still not getting your $20. You got to break their knees and then get the
yeah,
$20.
okay.
All
So
right.
That's so rude. You broke my knees.
You took my money.
took my $20.
But no, I have a friend group, and I have a friend group, and we all go about doing this separate ways. If I loan someone money, it's gonna like, hey, you know that money I loaned you? Yeah, I loaned it to you. I kind of need that back, and I just pester you until I get it back. My friend Matt Bat is really nice about it. He charges you a little interest. He keeps a log of who he
my
loans
God.
money to. And he actually keeps a real notebook that's
Nice.
a log. But if he'll just come up to you every day and say, hey, can you pay me back? And you're like, oh crap, I forgot. All right, 25 cents more tomorrow.
Wow.
It just works like that. And it's like, all right. Khalil, on the other hand, borrowing money from Khalil is the most painful thing you can ever do. Because the one time, the last time I borrowed money from him, standing in the lunch line, and he doesn't come up to you and say, can I have my money back? You have to bring him his money.
Mhm.
So if you don't bring it to him, you're late. You're not paying him back. That's how it works. He doesn't think you're going to pay him back. So I'm standing in the lunch line, and he taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and he gives me the hardest slap across the face I've ever had. I mean, he stepped back like he was pitching a baseball. My ear was ringing, and there was a hand mark on my face. And he goes, explicit, I want my money. And then I paid him, and it worked. And we're still best friends.
Wow.
So it tends to work when Khalil does it. I don't recommend that method. And then the one other method I don't recommend is the Family Guy method, where Stewie lights Brian on fire, throws him down the stairs, and tries to drown him, and breaks both his
You
knees.
can't
and shoots
get
him in
money
the
from a
foot.
dead man.
That's kind of
Yeah.
only something that would work with guys, though.
Yeah, if
slapping.
you're if you slap a girl for money, it's
Yeah,
not
you can't
happening.
slap a girl
If you
for
slap
money.
your best guy friend,
That's
it
too much
might
like
work.
Grand Theft Auto.
You know what?
beating.
Yeah.
Don't slap anybody ever. How about that?
Unless you're Khalil and the person you're slapping is me. And that's
Montana.
Oh
okay.
yeah, but the other thing about borrowing money is what me and my really really close friend do is at some point years ago we've lost track of how much money we pay for things.
Right.
So at some point when we go and get food, she'll throw money and then I'll throw money and then it'll work. And then at some point she'll throw money or I'll throw money or neither of us will. And
just
we
all
just
throw
gotta
money.
Get the hell out of there.
I mean, what I would do, and I'm going to go to you, Aaron, in a sec. What I would do is just let it go and just never lend this person money again, because what my husband was saying during the pre-show was his dad taught him that he doesn't want you don't want someone to pay you back, because if they pay you back, they're going to ask to borrow money again. But if they don't pay you back, you get to say, I'm never lending you money again because you already owe me $20. And just if you value this person as a friend, just sort of let it go. Like when I was a kid, I used to watch my mom and her two sisters settle up, and us cousins found this to be the most hilariously ridiculous kind of display of being exact that was quite amusing to us kids, because it would like come down to like, okay, so it was Jerry's birthday, so Jerry wasn't paying, but Jerry's daughter was there, and so Jerry needs to pay for her daughter. And then like they would do like these complicated math problems over settling up, and like me and my sisters just like as adults were just like, I got this, and we just don't settle up, because not because we didn't respect what they were doing, we just decided we didn't want to have to go through that. It just isn't worth it. Like, our sister love is more important than a penny here or a penny there, Ryan.
The last time my mom and her sister ever tried to settle up, that went so badly.
It's so hilarious.
Me and my cousin were hiding under her bed crying. We were crying.
That's what happened.
And like you think
No,
they
we
were talking
crying.
it out or yelling. I'm telling you, there was an argument over two things. My mom's sister stealing her chocolate bunny when they were little, which she still hasn't given her $2 for, which she spent her allowance on, and pictures from my mom's like 12th birthday or something that my mom thinks she should have. My aunt has them at her house or something.
So they start throwing old business at each other.
Well, then they start throwing out old business at each other, and my mom like comes upstairs, grabs me, like she's like, Ryan, we're leaving. We get in the car.
Oh no!
And all of a sudden, the door opens, and here comes my aunt with a giant piece of wood
Oh.
running at our car.
Oh
right?
wow, you guys are hardcore.
So my mom speeds off. She comes back later, like to try, like, okay, let's work it out, and they get in another fight. So my aunt slams the door on my mom. My mom puts her foot in the door, and the whole door cracked off and broke.
Oh no! Over a bunny?
Over a chocolate bunny. But luckily, my uncle's a hardware guy, so he fixed the door.
Wow. Well, I think my parents learned good math over, because they would divide things into fifths, and like that Jerry would owe 2 fifths and the other people would owe 3 fifths, and like it was, they learned good math skills, and maybe Jakey could come up with equations that would make it easier to settle up, but because he's a math whiz. Aaron.
Back to the problem at hand. One thing that I tend to do is I don't have like typically with friends I don't just money is like whatever. Like with Austin, I know, but I go friend by friend, right? Like I know, okay, well, Austin I know for sure, and like my friend Andrew I know for sure they will always get me back or pay me back right then or whatever. It doesn't matter. And I don't have a general rule. I just say, well, what do I feel about this friend? What do I feel about this friend? And
Just
like,
a gut.
and sometimes I will just say, you know what, forget it, whatever. And whatever happens, happens. And I learn from that one experience. Like you said, if they never pay back, you'll never pay
lend
them
money
again. Right? Exactly. You never
But
get
I
any
don't
money.
want this person duty lover to go around like just incensed about this. Just let it go. It's $20 that you
Right.
spent learning something important.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, Maddie, we're going to jump to the next question. She's been having her hand up for a while, and you want to stay on lending money for another half an hour? All right, go ahead, Maddie.
Like a 2-second thing.
Yeah.
What I always do when like someone owes me money and they haven't paid me back and I don't want to say something about it, I'll just be like, "Oh, I forgot my money. Can you lend me some money?"
Oh.
And
it becomes
then you
into,
just get it back.
Yeah, but then they might say that you owe them money.
But you don't, because
It's female trickery.
I borrowed money from her at Coffee Bean today. I haven't paid her back. She
Oh,
forgot.
really?
Oh,
Ah.
no, I was staring at you when this question was being.
Oh, Ryan owes Maddie money. I see. We are a Place Out Loud, 888-531-7171. Kit Kat writes, my friend keeps bringing up bad things in my past that I'd rather not want to hear again. How do I tell her to stop bringing them up nicely? So I don't even know what's motivating this. It's like to try and keep her in her place, or I have something over you, or whatever. Ryan.
I've had friends bring up things totally like, okay, so I've said it a million times, but when I was in 7th grade, at the end of 7th grade, very rough ways, I won't go into detail too. I went to a therapeutic boarding school because I was having a lot of emotional issues, and that was a really rough time for me for a year and a half or so. And I mean, even before that, it was, I was depressed and suicidal and stuff like that. So it was really rough. And I'll have friends who aren't my close friends who don't understand the scenario. Like Jake knows all that stuff, so Jake doesn't really bring it up, and if he does it in a nice way because there's relevance behind it. But some friends will be like, "Oh, remember that time like when you just like disappeared in 7th grade?" And because it was pretty sudden when I left, and so to them they're just like, when Ryan left. And to me, I'm like, yeah, when I was going through the most traumatizing time of my entire life. So I think at that point you have to say, there was a lot of stuff going on with my family, and I'd rather you just not bring that kind of thing up or whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah, you could just go, shh, it's a mafia thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make light of it and just have them know, like, by the look in your eyes, we don't go there.
Yeah. And I think people catch on fairly quick, because if you tell them it's something that, if you say we don't go there, people pretty much get the idea that there's something.
Oh, there's something there to go for. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But in a good way. Like there's something there, but I respect you. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. I mean,
you have
friends
to
would.
Right.
Be good about it and make because sometimes people will be like, well, what was it? I'm curious now.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to figure
That's
it
true.
out.
Just like, serious, we had to change my name and dye my hair. I'm serious, we don't go there. Maddie.
I feel like that if you just said to someone, like, I'm just really not comfortable talking about that, can you respect me about it?
Yeah, or even just like, sore spot, please no.
Well, yeah, just like the more simple you keep it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had a friend who kept bringing up this thing, because I was, like, temporary leave of absence from a part of school last year.
Mafia related?
Of course.
Yeah.
And my friend kept bringing it up, and I was like, look, I really love how much you care about me, but that's just the best way that you can kind of work with this topic is to not bring it up. And so, Aaron, what do you think?
Well, I think that X Kit Kat X actually already wrote something that's pretty decent. Listen, you keep bringing up bad things in my past that I'd rather not want to hear again. I mean, like, maybe you want to change a couple words, maybe you want to add something, but you basically already have what you're looking for.
This is just like the money thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, tell them to, hey, don't bring it up. If they keep bringing it up, it seems like you said your friend who keeps bringing it up, like, hey, remember that one time? Hey, remember that one time? Then just be like, hey, remember that one time you did something really embarrassing, and now I'm going to say it much louder.
No.
You know what? That is fighting fire.
Be
with
like,
fire,
hey,
though.
remember that one time when we didn't talk about this? And then it's just,
Yeah, you could make it humorous, yeah. Kyo?
You can be nice, but don't be afraid of making it awkward, because it might be awkward, and then they'll know if it gets to an awkward place, then it means you're really being serious about it. So don't be too scared about saying, I don't like talking about that. Or if it is, like, if this is your friend and they know about it, and be like, that bothers me whenever you bring that up. I don't, like, I regret that part of
Yeah, I've
that
learned
time.
a lot since then, and could we please just not have to keep rehashing this? I'm just going to jump to Roxy Lover's question real quick. I just started high school, just because we were going to get to this last week, but we had the whole mom or blogger debate. I just started high school, and it's been almost a week, and I haven't really made any friends yet. I'm nice to everyone, and I talk to people in class. I guess I'm just wondering if it's because no one likes me, or if it's because it will take longer than a week. So general rule of thumb in terms of, like, say she's a freshman, like, what should she expect and what she should be doing that she's not doing? Aaron?
Well, I was going to say something, but then you changed the question, so.
Oh, I mean, because, me, just correct me and answer what you need to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, like, you've given them no reason to not like you, so I would just assume, yes, it's just going to take a bit of time. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being friendly. Keep talking to people. It'll happen. And, Wheezy says this all the time, and I say it too. Join clubs. If there's something you're interested in, join something that does that thing, and you'll meet other people who are like you.
Well, let's make T-shirts that just say join clubs, because people are just, like, so over me saying that. Maddie?
I think that the best way to handle that is to just kind of, like, you already are doing everything, right? You're being nice to people. You're not being rude to people. Yes, it does take more time than a week. You don't develop a absolute biffle, like, in a week.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen, and if you're nice, people are going to like you. And there was this girl in my grade who was just, like, the nicest person on the planet. And she wasn't, like, one of those skinny blonde girls that just, like, everybody wants to be friends with because I think she's going to be popular. It wasn't like that. She was just the nicest person ever. And so everybody was friends with her because she was just so nice.
Just nice. Jakey, I'm going to throw it to you just because you don't want me to. Freshman year of high school,
Yes.
how did you make friends through just being in class with people, or did you make friends through being in clubs?
I don't know.
Can you
I
try
had a lot of friends from Willows that just came over, and then if you have Mr. Broderick, who's the coolest teacher ever, you kind of just talk to everyone, and that's great. And I'm really close to the camera right now. Wow.
And you look like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Well, the thing with Jake is, like, that first year, that freshman year, he was, like, really close with his Willow's friends, like me, Cologne, Matthew, Bradley, all those guys.
Yeah.
And then, and Sam. And then, like, he started to branch off a little bit, and he made friends like Montana and Charlie and all those people. But, like, he's really settled in, and sometimes that's good. Like, just to kind of make your friends and settle in. But I think there's 3 periods when you first start in a new school or something. Week 1, when you're fake friends with people, you find a group that you just talk to because you don't want to be silent, and you're just talking to people, and you're like, oh, hey, we did that orientation thing. Let's be best friends.
Those are life best friends.
Right. And
you just need them.
Not in the slightest. They're not best friends.
No, life vest
Oh,
friends.
Life vest.
Yeah.
Oh, they said life best
Because
friends.
you need them and they need you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there's the week 2 where you had the weekend, you didn't text them or anything because you don't have their phone number, and you just don't talk to them again. And there's week 3 when you find out some of them were terrible, some of them are going to be your best friends, and then some of them, like some other people you've never talked to, are going to be your best friends. So I'd say 3 weeks is pretty reasonable to make
3
friends.
weeks. Give it a good 3 weeks. Austin, real quick, and then we'll close it out.
Yeah, real quick. For me in school, especially high school, like it took time to make friends. I wasn't a member of any clubs, so most of my friends just consisted of people I knew from before. So like in some grades, there would be people who were in my class that I would just see there. I'd know their name, but I'd never really talk to them. Then next year, when you're with a bunch of people you don't know, but then those people from before you never talked to, but you saw, it's like, oh, I kind of know that person. So then you actually start talking, then making friends with them. That's what happened to me.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a good way to do it. You seem familiar.
As
You
long as
seem
it
nice.
takes. I mean, it takes a whole year, but it's effective otherwise.
Yeah, just keep going. You will make the friends that you're meant to make, and just have an open, friendly look on your face at all times. We are Our Place Out Loud. I am Louise Palenker, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Best show ever?
I've been out there wandering. I've been in here wondering, hoping, reaching, wishing I could find my way. Then I found